We are back in court in Idaho for the state of Idaho versus Bryan Kohberger, but we are not back in our old courtroom with Judge. New venue, new judge, who this? We are in court today for a status hearing with Judge Hippler in Ada County in Boise. So this is the court where the case is going to be venued. There are a lot of things still on docket in this case, a lot of unresolved discovery issues. This status conference is very much a pulse check of the case. It probably won't be a significantly substantive hearing, but it's going to be a where are we? Are we ready to roll? Trial date is set. Do we need to reset a trial date? Can this court accommodate the trial date? Those types of housekeeping materials. Let's get this on calendar. Let's get moving.
All right. Like to tell you I'm happy to be here, but why start with an untruth?
What? What? Well, that's one way to start, Your Honor. I would love to say I'm happy to be here, but why start with an untruth? They saddled me with this case, y'all. It's not my choice. I don't really want to be here with y'all. Like, okay, Your Honor. Damn, he's just like, you guys want to give me a case full of discovery issues with terabytes of data and a 3-month trial? Sweet. That sounds exactly like what I don't want to do. But coming in hot.
Right. I think you will find I'm probably more inclined to hear things more quickly than you're perhaps accustomed to in this case. So just be aware of that. It'd probably be more along the usual.
Not the judge shade. We're going to be moving more quickly than maybe you're used to. There's literally a new judge on the bench. We know it is Judge. We are not the judge. We don't need to be named twice, but we're going to move, and y'all are gonna get this done like adults. Just so we're clear. He's literally like new sheriff in town. Oh, judge, he's not messing with them. And he's like, okay, you need to explain to us why you need more time. We'll do it in an ex parte hearing. We'll do it today. So our first status hearing in the state of Idaho versus Bryan Kohberger for the quadruple homicide out of Latah County. It was moved subject to a motion to change venue to Ada County, where Boise, Idaho is a much larger county, different court system, and a new judge who came into court and said, not only is there a new judge, but literally there's a new sheriff in town, and it's me. He came in at the very beginning of this hearing and said, I would say I'm happy to be here, but I'm not going to start the hearing with untruths. So he has set the groundwork for, this got assigned to me. I'm not even supposed to be here today, but we are going to move this case along. He then proceeded to remind the attorneys that they are not only adults, but they are adult professionals. There will be no personal attacks, no ad hominem attacks. They will do their work like professionals. The mood of the courtroom was incredibly subdued today as Judge Hippler moved through everything that was on the docket, including the fact that this case is set for 3 months when you're looking at the case in chief of the state, the case in chief of the defense, and then the potential for a penalty phase for the death penalty versus life without parole. The prosecution said that it was going to take them 1.5 to 2 months for their case in chief. The defense indicated that their case in chief should take about 4 weeks. The prosecution said if this goes to a penalty phase, it should take about a week of their witnesses, and they're going to rely heavily on the trial witnesses in the guilt phase. And then the defense said that they are going to take about 3 weeks in their rebuttal. The defense then laid out the fact that there are issues for them. They had an expert that was ill and then passed away who was already well underway into their work, and replacing that expert is going to be difficult and time consuming. The court is doing a hearing closed with the defense ex parte without the prosecution to talk about that expert, and if the expert disclosures need to be pushed back, and if the trial date needs to be moved to September 2025 to not only accommodate the fact that jurors are going to be disinclined to be in trial for the entirety of the summer, and to give a little bit of room to the defense when they have been kind of kicking since the beginning, saying, we're not going to be ready for this trial date. We're not going to be ready for this trial date. The prosecution was pushing for March 2025. The judge resolved June 2025, and the defense is still saying, we just need more time than that. We have a tremendous amount of evidence. We don't have a contract because they're changing the public defender system in Idaho, and our expert passed away. And we do have a new expert, but we need more time. And we have to work together to figure this out. The court said, I am inclined to have this trial start in the case in chief, the evidence portion of the trial, not jury selection, which may take 3 or 4 weeks, but not jury selection, the evidence, opening statements forward, to start either in May or September. The prosecution's asking for May. The defense is asking for September. I think at the end of the day, we will probably see it happening in September, given all the things that the defense lined out and given the fact that they do have a substantial obligation in this case because of the penalty involved and because of the amount of evidence. This is terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of evidence. At the end of evidence disclosures from the prosecution, there were 398 new gigs of data. The court asked the prosecutor, well, how much of it's new? How much of it's cumulative? And the prosecution's like, so it's a OneDrive from the FBI, and we don't know how much of it's new and how much of it's cumulative. Sorry, it's a lot of evidence. I think we'll see the judge move this to September. I think that's realistically what's going to happen. So with the change of venue and with the new judge, we are now moving forward. So Judge Steven Hippler, we are in your court, sir. And we have heard you that this case will be moving faster than the attorneys were ready for. So it seems that a trial date change is imminent. Now that the defense got their change of venue, will they get the trial date that they want? I think it's possible. For deep dives into the stories that I covered here, you can find them on my YouTube channel at The Emily D. Baker and The Emily Show podcast. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday. The podcast goes live on Wednesdays. And if you want to stay in the loop with everything I'm doing, receive the fastest notifications out there, and get more Law Nerd community, join me at lawnerdapp.com, our free app for iOS and Android.